Hey everyone, this is TG from ToyGander.com, and today we're going to review some brand new Pokemon minifigures. So let's go ahead and take a gander. Time for a few shoutouts. Shenko, that's K-O-H, Reborn Customs, Marcus Bricks, and Lachi Reed, that's L-O-C-H-I-E-R-E-I-D. I want to thank you guys so much for watching Toy Gander, and now onto the figures. I've done a couple other videos about these Pokemon minifigures, so if you're interested in actually getting any of these, be sure to check out ToyGander.com, and if you want to see the past reviews that I've done, be sure to check out the Toy Gander channel, and don't forget to subscribe. So let's start this thing off with Jessie. One of the things that I notice right off the bat is the Pokeball. The Pokeball definitely stands out as one of the best versions I've seen so far, and the main reason is because of the proportions. They put the black line right in the middle versus on the top or closer to the top or not at all. And I believe this is a sports ball. Looks very solid, looks good, and actually stands out very well. As far as Jessie, the character overall from Team Rocket, now the suit, the torso looks pretty decent. The legs, the painting on the legs, they did go on the sides, which is great. However, again, with the black legs with white painting on it, unless they do 2 or 3 coats, it just doesn't look right, and the black does show up a little bit on the bottom. It really makes a big difference here on the arms, and I might actually switch out these arms just to a different one, maybe solid beige arms, just to make it look better because the paint's chipping on there. The hair, Jessie's hair within the cartoon kind of goes off to one side and curls around. It'd be hard to do in a Lego, so I do understand that they kind of used what they had, so it does look good, and the face proportions actually look pretty well on that. Now, as far as her Pokemon, how that goes, I'll say that I think this is either Arbok or Ekans. I'm not 100% sure on which one it is. But the head, there's no custom pieces made here, and I think considering the fact that there aren't any custom pieces, they did a very nice job putting together Ekans or Arbok based on what Lego already had out. This head is, I think, from Ninjago, and these pieces are just simple connector pieces with one hinge right there. It looks very good, it looks like it's very well done, and honestly, it's probably one of the better Pokemon not having a customized piece on there. This next one is James and Meowth. So this is James from Team Rocket, and along the same lines as Jessie, a couple things aren't just exactly right compared to the TV show. The first thing I will note is that the shirt and the Team Rocket torso here looks better, and that main reason is because his arms are solid white and they don't have the black with the white paint on it. So that does look a lot better. His face looks pretty well proportioned. The hair, what they did, Jessie has like this weird kind of hair. It's very unique. You look at the TV show, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But his hair, they used Two-Face, and it's just a solid purple. So it's just kind of an interesting take on how they utilize what Lego already made to make this character. So I think that's pretty good use of what Lego already has. He is unfortunately plagued by the same thing that was plaguing Jessie on these bottom legs here. Unfortunately, the black with the white paint, his does look a little bit better, although it's definitely not anything to write home about. He has a little extra printing right there for the waist. He has a belt that goes all the way through, and there's a little bit of a line right there too. So that's done pretty well. Same thing, he has an Ultra Ball here, and the Pokeballs honestly look great compared to all the other previous ones that I reviewed. Now let's move on to Meowth. Unfortunately, Meowth is an absolute monstrosity. I have no idea, and I saw a picture on putting it together and how it should look, and this is kind of how it looked in the picture. However, this just looks nothing like Meowth. It includes one piece here, and no matter how I put these things together, I can guarantee it's not going to actually look like them. So I'm just disappointed, really disappointed in how this one turned out. The only piece that looks even remotely close to Meowth is obviously this custom printed face. That is it. Otherwise, if you didn't have that thing, you would have no clue exactly what that thing was. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is Misty and Psyduck. So Misty is exactly how you should do Pokemon within LEGO. This is a beautiful example, and I've done a different Misty before, and I'll show you. Looking at this one right here, absolutely does not compare. If you look at this one looks bland, just has a real dumbfounded look. It looks very simple, and LEGO does do simple pretty well. However, when you take the time to just do proper outlines and you put the right hair on it, it makes the character look a lot better. So I'm going to put this one back and just show you the torso on this Misty looks great. You can see the suspender lines right there. It has nice black outlines, which is typical of anime, so it really makes the character pop. And the jeans look great. Even the feet printing right here for the shoes, they did white on this dark blue, and it doesn't really show up bad. It looks pretty good, look like it's well executed. On the back you can see the suspenders continue on to the back, just very vibrant, very good. Now the hair, I will say, is not exactly quite Misty, but they used what they had, and honestly it looks great. The face is way better looking than the previous one that I've done, so I do like that. It's very finely detailed too. If you actually can look at the nose, there's like a little curve for the nose, and the mouth is done very nicely, and the reflection in the eyes is even done very small, very finely detailed, and it just looks really good. Makes the character stand out. As far as Psyduck goes, so I paused the video when I was making it because I noticed as I was building him, there was a piece within here, from the back of his hairpiece right here to the front of his bill. There was like a little space, and that's how they wanted to do it. So I stopped the video, tried to grab a couple additional Lego pieces and just kind of bulk them out a little bit, so the whole thing ended up being solid. So I really do like this character. I think he does, and this is why I got this whole set, is because of Psyduck. I think he's just a really goofy, doofy looking character, and I think he does look very good in Lego form. So he has a very typical Psyduck outline, very short and stocky, and this is a very cool and unique piece. I love the way they utilize this Wolverine claw for the back of his hair. I think it totally makes sense, and I like the custom print on the eyes as well as the bill. Let's move on to the next one. Ash Ketchum. I feel like I've done a million different Ash Ketchum custom minifigures. However, this Ash, there just seems to be something lacking here. His skin, for whatever reason, comes off as purplish, and I don't know if it's the coloration of his jacket, or that in combination with the hat, or the fact that he's holding a Master Ball. I don't know exactly what it is, but his skin just seems like a little purplish or a little bit more pink than what it should be. One thing that I do like in this figure that I don't think any of the other figures that I've reviewed has is this little hair piece that goes down. He does have a pretty decently detailed face, so I do like that. His hat sits a little bit lower profile than I think what it really is, and the hat proportions don't seem quite right. I do like the Master Ball. That's probably the best part of this figure. The Master Ball just looks great. There's a little bit of a white dot there where the paint missed, but other than that, honestly, that is one of the best Pokeballs I've seen yet. And there's a printing on the back. It looks a little bit more bulky than what the other ones look like. Like the outlines just stand out a little bit too much, and they're just a little bit thicker than they need to be. So as far as the Pikachu goes, again, I feel like I've done a million of these Pikachus, and I have a couple in back there. But Pikachu, they added an extra piece here, which is unique to this one versus the other ones. They typically don't have that, so he does look a little bit more full, and he has the same typical tail on there. He looks okay. Probably, again, not my favorite, but I think this Pikachu looks the best out of any of the other ones I reviewed. Next up is Brock. Brock was one of the other reasons why I bought this set, and I can tell you he stands out as one of the better figures within here. He just looks very much like what the anime looks like. If you look at, I mean, this vest, that's pretty much what he's known for, is that vest. And it's done very nicely. He's got some fine detail around his arms. It's very nicely outlined there. Same thing for the waist here. He's got a waist and a belt there. Stands out pretty nicely. He's got a little bit of detail in the back. It just looks like a great print. The only thing that I probably would have done differently is maybe this hair. I think it should be black, not brown. One disappointing part about this is the arms. And I just feel like the arms could have been done better. You could see some paint missing towards the inside of the arm there. And I might just switch those things out and just put all beige arms just to make it look better. And he's got this great ball, again, same thing, finely detailed, looks fantastic. On to Bulbasaur. Now, I've done 2 other Bulbasaurs besides this one. And this Bulbasaur, the color's probably the closest to what it should be. And the face is done pretty well, but that doesn't necessarily make it look like the best Bulbasaur. If you look at this, there's some problems going on here, and I tried a couple different configurations, but this is probably the closest to what the actual Bulbasaur looks like. And no matter how I put it, I think the big issue with this one is they made this curve piece right here. That's what they printed the face on, and realistically they shouldn't have done that. They should have just put it a 1 or 2 peg piece right there and gotten rid of this concave part. And if they did that, it would just fit. It would look closer to the original profile of the figure, and I think it would have looked a lot better. Other than that, the printing on the face is done pretty well, and I might actually try and maneuver around this one with another Bulbasaur and see if I can come up with something a little bit better. Last character. So unfortunately, guys, I do not know who this character is. If you guys know, please put it in the comments below, because I'd love to find out. And it's a shame because the character's done pretty well, and the printing's pretty nice on the torso. Has some nice detail right there. Even the feet on the bottom with the red and white over the dark blue looks pretty nice. The only issue that I have with this, or the main issue that I have with this, is kind of the same issue that plagued a lot of this set, are these arms. For whatever reason, I think this might be a Decool set, but I'm not 100% sure. These arms, the printing on the inside of the arm just seems to have rubbed off, or it was never printed on there nice enough. It really shows up in the back on this, right on the inside there. But other than that, the character looks like it's done pretty nicely. The face is nicely detailed, and one of the shining stars in this, again, this Pokeball or this Love Ball looks fantastic. So this, I believe, is supposed to be Skitty. It just looks a little bit off, kind of the same thing. They do the same thing like with Meowth and Pikachu. They put this like long piece right here with this attachment right here, and it just, I get it. I get why they do it, because to try and keep it to scale to these minifigs and trying to, you know, still use whatever Lego has to do something and put it out. The only thing that's really representative of it is this faceplate. Everything else is so-so, but I have to say this is definitely not my favorite Pokemon within this set, or even any of the sets. Okay guys, so there is one figure somewhere on the screen that's just not quite right. And I'll give you a hint, it's a Pokemon. So the first person that finds out which figure that is and puts it in the comments below, I will give you a special shout out in the next video I do. Guys, I want to thank you so much for clicking that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, you can help us take a gander.